I've always held the belief that if you got something good to sell, people will buy. So what could the President of the United States learn from essentially a fast food guy? Well, how about this? If it don't look good or sound good, it ain't going to taste good. All right? Well, that is why Andy Puzder pours so much into the look and feel of his mouth-watering burgers. The fact that he uses incredibly hot models eating them only reinforces the point that Americans are going to want to try them too. I'm not talking about the hot models. I'm talking about the burgers. Focus. I raise this point and this comparison to make a very simple point and comparison. You see, Andy knows he's got something good. I don't think it's dawned on the president yet that he does not. Bear with me. Because no matter how much the commander-in-chief pushes things like free college and free internet, it doesn't seem to move the needle. Maybe because Americans know they're going to have to foot the bill. And that is not very appetizing to them. Now, many will say you cannot compare a burger to a bureaucracy. Oh, no. They're all wrong. Because in the end, customers invariably want to see the beef. It is all about presentation and making folks think it is worthwhile. And if you throw in some hot models, that can hardly hurt. All right, anyway, food for thought. Andy Puzder with me now. See how I forcibly made that comparison?
That was really good.
Thank you.
I love that, yeah.
Basic cable, that's what I do. But I really was thinking about this and all your new product, and I think you've got one coming up. But I think presidents of all, whether corporations or of the country, they've got to market what they're selling. And they've got to sell something that people will want. And I think the problem with the president's latest offerings is, outside of those who might benefit from free community college or whatever, most people don't want that and don't want to pay for that.
Yeah, I think people are tired of hearing about freebies. Everything this president says sounds so good and really means so little. We don't need more freebies. We need more opportunity. And the way that you generate opportunity, and we need to increase opportunity, reduce poverty, you do that with economic growth. The way you generate economic growth, there's one system that's done that, and it's the only system that has the word free in it that I think actually works, and that's the free enterprise system. The free enterprise system will generate growth. When we get growth, I think this president wants to take credit for things that really he didn't have any responsibility for.
Well, they're happening under his watch, so it's always what presidents of both parties do, right? I mean, if it's happening under his watch, he's going to get the blame if things are bad. He's going to get the credit if things are bad. You think he's misreading that? Because I talk to his people, the ones that talk to me over there, like the gardener and the chef, right, and they tell me, well, look at the markets, look at what's happened, we're off our feet. Yeah, what do you say?
Well, I'd say let's take, right now we've got consumer spending was way up in the fourth quarter, and that we've only had 2.2% GDP growth. A lot of that was driven by consumer spending because you didn't have businesses investing in equipment or inventory. The reason that consumers were spending was because oil prices were down. Oil prices were down because of American fracking. That's absolutely the only reason they're down.
It, though. He's just trying to sell something. It's happening under my watch. But he's marketing more of this when you say he's misreading it and marketing stuff that people aren't liking.
Yeah, but you need, in a business or when you're running government, you need to understand what's working and why it's working. Because if you don't understand why it's working, you don't know what to promote. You don't know what people are interested in. You don't know what people really want. And I think by trying to fit everything into this ideological framework he has, he misses the point. If we have a burger that sells very, very well, we want to know why it was selling well. What part of the country does it sell well in? Why did people like this as opposed to a different
But you also know
burger?
your audience well, right? In this case, with a lot of the burgers and a lot of the new stuff you plant, in the case of using a beautiful model, you know it's going to bring in the young males or the big demographic for fast food. But it's more than that, right?
Yeah, well, you need to know who you're appealing to. We market to that demographic because really McDonald's, Wendy's, they market to the family, etc., a larger group. We need to be more specific to be competitive. The president's marketing to that larger group. He needs to know what they want and why they want it.
And I don't think they want targeting
freebies.
The doubters out there. I would be targeting, how can I win over these doubters who don't believe me? Bill Clinton was very good at that.
Well, Bill Clinton was not only good, Bill Clinton got results.
Yeah.
I mean, he not only convinced
people.
Talk
about a guy who loved fast food.
Yeah, exactly. But he convinced people about the right things. We've got a president that is not really trying to advocate for free enterprise, for growth, for business, the kinds of things that could give people jobs and opportunities. He's marketing for freebies and what the government can do for you as opposed to what you can do for yourself. And if the government takes power, it takes it from someplace, and it's the American people. It's from freedom and liberty.
And if it was an appealing sell, they'd buy it.
And if it was an appealing sell, they would buy it.
Thank you, my friend. Brilliant marketing, Andy Puzder.
Thank you.
Great burgers, too. Obviously, he's not eating them. They say.